So, it's here, the gameplay preview that Miyazaki is using to keep us ignorant slaves in check while we wait for the game to finally release, and it's about damn time we get to see the game in action, and quite honestly, yeah, I'm hyped. I'm a huge fan of the Souls games. I've played every single one of them but Sekiro, and I honestly can't wait for this game to come out. The idea of an open-world Souls-like is my dream game. The combat of Dark Souls and exploration of Skyrim? Yeah, shut up, take my money. One thing that irks me is like, why are they not releasing it during the holidays? Okay, Fromsoft, yeah, I guess you just hate making money. The holidays would be perfect time to release this, but you know, whatever. So, let's unpack everything. So the first thing we see is the world tree from Berserk, which I love the way this looks. I really hope we're able to go to that tree, and from the looks of it, there are more than one Ganishka tree. Then seconds later, we are reminded that this is indeed a Souls game as a character lights a bonfire, or my bad, Sight of Grace. Then we see him jump off a cliff with his horse and die. No, just kidding. Then we see him ride off a cliff on his horse. Probably one of the bigger mechanics in this game that interests me is the mount riding. Already got me excited for horseback combat. We then see more of those giants, the ones from the preview trailer, and then we're treated to our very first boss fight as a dragon comes crashing down right in front of the player. Basic crap here, nothing too special, other than something feels a little off. Can't really put my finger on it. It looks like you can interact with the environment as well, as there's a character you have to free from inside of this... Oh, my god. Well, I didn't expect that. I already know who the fan favorite character is. We then get this really nice view from on top of a cliffside, and wow, it's amazing. Wallpaper material right here. They pull up the map and it's looking to be quite huge, and again with the trees, and they're marked on the map, so maybe we can go to them. We got a shot of the character using these air geysers, and then these strange, lightning wheat flowers? I don't know if they're specifically the things causing the lightning, but from the trailer, that's what they are, and they're glowing lightning, and so, yeah. And we finally get to see who this game's Firekeeper will probably be. A hooded lady with one eye. Odd, can't really think where I've seen that before. Honestly kind of like her design of the other Firekeepers, except maybe made in black. We also get a taste of what the multiplayer system will look like, and from the looks of it, it looks like Dark Souls multiplayer, but instead it'll let you explore the whole world together, similar to Remnant from the Ashes. And it looks like there's also going to be stealth, which I like. Finally, it looks like there's going to be an opportunity for different kinds of builds, like you can actually do a ninja setup unlike the Souls games, where stealth is really jank and weird. Having to walk slowly behind an enemy just to get a backstab just feels really weird to do. I love the idea of being able to solid snake my way through an area, silently taking out enemies one by one and clearing the place out without being detected, which, I don't know, it may not be like that, but, you know, just thinking. There's also a shot of this massive creature that they sneak past with the caption, "Deadly creatures stalk the forest." Now, this could be something cool. Having super powerful monsters that you have to sneak by because they're too high level for your character at the time, and then having it come back when you're higher level and ready to fight them, is something that Dragon's Dogma does great. With having monsters that you can just find by exploring off the roads or that are a bit powerful, but you can always come back to when you're ready, is something I really like. I always did this in Dragon's Dogma. I would just run off the path and then end up finding a chimera, and then, you know, end up finding the dragon. And don't fight the dragon. Wait until you're post-game. Please. Oh my god. There's also this really weird summoning ability now, where you can summon an army of monsters to fight for you, and a weird-looking pumpkin-headed monster shown in this boss fight. Hopefully we'll be able to make builds out of that too. It'd be a complete departure from Dark Souls, as we'd be able to make even more new types of builds. You'd have your classic sword and shield, great sword, and maybe fast dex build. But now we'll be able to make ninja builds where we're able to sneak by enemies and silently take them out. And then now we can summon monsters Final Fantasy style. I'm interested to see the different kinds of weapons that'll be in the game. The pumpkin-head monster has a flail of some kind, so maybe new weapon types? I'd really like to see flails and perhaps more lances, as now we can really be like knights with new horseback stuff. Hell, maybe even turn the sword spear from Dark Souls 3 into its own weapon class, but that's probably out of the picture. And we all know the Moonlight Blade is coming too. It's a Fromsoft game. Here we see a huge castle called Stormvale Castle, where we are told that this is a dungeon that's connected to the region. This could imply that you can pick and choose what bosses you fight in whatever order you like, similar to Demon Souls. The character takes a path to the left and talks to an NPC who says not go to the main gate because something bad is there, I don't know, something. And then he proceeds to go to the main gate and get shot by the castle's Sea-Wiz system. It's this castle where we get to see that you actually will be able to go wherever you want. And probably the biggest change from Dark Souls, you're able to jump now. Finally, we get to the boss, who looks like he's an absolute god at multitasking with all the arms he has. And he's also the guy we saw from the trailer. Pretty cool looking boss fight. The game looks like it's going to be fast like Dark Souls 3, which, in my opinion, I don't really like, but then again, I'm sure I'll get used to it. Then he uses the dragon's head as his own arm. Holy God. So, yeah, that's pretty much the preview, and it's looking super promising. Horseback riding looks cool, the summoning looks cool, and we're getting new ways to play the game outside of just lock-on and assault. Now, with that out of the way, let me get this clear. I'm a huge Fromsoft fan. I've played their games like Dark Souls, Armored Core, Metal Wolf Chaos, 3D Dot, Game Heroes. My favorite of theirs being, well, the Souls games. I really like their games and what they've been delivering for years now. But I noticed something a little odd in the preview. Remember when I mentioned something that felt a little off during the dragon boss fight? Yeah, you may have noticed it. Reuse animations. And throughout the rest of the trailer, there's a lot of them. Now, I don't mind this necessarily. I mean, the game that they were making here looks massive, so they may have to cut a few corners to accomplish this. But there were a lot of reused animations, even down to the skeleton. And not only that, the game looks a lot like Dark Souls 3 in terms of graphics and lighting and style, which, again, I'm fine with, but still leads to a fear that I'll talk about here. Could Fromsoft be lazying out? They are reusing animations, and the graphics look really similar to that of Dark Souls 3. Could they be getting a little lazy? Now, this may be a stretch, and me being a little paranoid. And, I'm willing to eat my own words and admit that I'm wrong if this isn't the case. Because this is the first game they put out where this is the case, and I'm just doing a little predicting of what could happen in the future. Fromsoft has been putting out dark fantasy after dark fantasy after dark fantasy for a good while now. Demon Souls, Dark Souls 2, Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, and now Elden Ring. I guess Sekiro too. All basically the same game with lock-on combat where you have to time your assault, with a medieval post-apocalyptic setting. The only exceptions to this I can think as of recently is their VR game,
Déraciné.
Thank you. Though I haven't seen anything about that game. There hasn't been any changes in genre for a while now, and that kind of worries me. While I love the Dark Souls series, I can't help but fear that they may do too much of it. Too much of something can get old. I mean, look what happened to the COD franchise. Rehash after rehash after rehash. Now, that may be a bad comparison because Dark Souls actually changes things up a bit in each entry. However, they are fundamentally the same. And I don't want to get burnt out on Dark Souls, but they haven't even touched their other IPs. I mean, we've had Kingsfield, Armored Core, Metal Wolf, but all they've been doing recently is just milking the Souls series and formula, which I understand why. It's making them millions upon millions upon millions, and there doesn't seem to be a decrease in sales. I mean, it is because of Dark Souls and Demon Souls that they are where they are now. They are AAA. They're the big kids now. They don't need to be wearing their pull-ups anymore. But I would love for there to be another Armored Core game, or another 3D Dot Game Heroes game, even though I really need to beat the first one. Or a modern take on Kingsfield. They have so many different games that they could tap into and experiment with. Hell, that's how Demon Souls took off with Miyazaki experimenting with the game. They could do something great with Armored Core, make the game's lore more deep, and hopefully make mecha games more mainstream, because I love anything mecha. After Elden Ring, I really think they should take a break on the Souls style of gameplay and focus on something different. It would be great to see return of their flagship series, Armored Core. Yes, I know I keep mentioning Armored Core because I really love those games, especially since the last two titles were kinda weak. I mean, Miyazaki directed two of the games. Surely he could direct more. But yeah, that's my rant on Fromsoft for now. I love their games, but they could definitely branch out. Like I said, I really don't want them to burn out Dark Souls and turn it into just another series like FIFA where they just keep rehashing it over and over. But again, honestly, I don't think FromSoft would ever do something like that. They're a good game developer company and they keep putting out bangers after banger, and I'm sure they wouldn't try and burn something out. I mean, Dark Souls did end with 3. And yeah, that does it for this video. And I really can't wait for this game to come out and for any future titles they make, just so long as they're in Soulsborne. And that also concludes the first actual video on this channel. It's a weird video to start out with it being just a preview for a game that isn't even out yet, but hey, gotta start somewhere, and this is something that kind of interested me. I do plan on making weekly videos if I can, and putting shorts and random posts in between uploads to keep the channel active, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. It wasn't perfect, it was pretty short, but I'll get better with time. Like and sub, actually y'all know what to do with that, what I'm talking about. I'll see y'all later.